Someone out there loves you. Someone out there is lonely too.
He's awake then. Come in. Come in.
Morning. Come on. Let's take you up downstairs for your breakfast. You ready?
Alfie's nearly 4 and he started Springwater School in September. He has Credit syndrome. He wasn't hitting milestones at a very young age. For example, he couldn't do what a baby could do with his head. It was just floppy constantly. Sitting, he couldn't do that. And it wasn't until he was 1.5 years old that they decided to do a genetic test. And that's when Credit came out in the blood test that they did. It was a shock. We'd worked in care, both me and my husband. Never heard of it. We were thinking of all the other things it could be, and it's 1 in 50,000. We struggled at first. You're in no man's land because there's not much research out there.
It's a lifelong syndrome. He's not going to grow out of it. We can never stamp that he will walk properly on his own. There's no saying that he will talk. He can say little words. He's started grouping every 1 or 2 words. Deep down in my heart, I know he understands everything. He's a very clever boy, but he obviously can't articulate himself. I think as a dad, you see yourself with a son and all the other kids outside playing football. You go to the park. I'd love him to be outside playing football with me. But yeah, I just want the best for him.
What about cheers? It affects his sleep, it affects his fine and gross motor skills, it affects feeding. I think the biggest thing for Alfie is he wants to be walking, and you can see the frustration in his face, and we find that really hard.
Alfie, in the early days, he was basically sleeping 1 to 2 hours a night. Gemma takes control of everything. She's an absolute star. Without her, we'd be absolutely useless. She gave up her career, everything to look after Alfie. I was going to work doing 12-hour days just to bring money in to support us. Luckily, Mum and Dad are very caring, and they made the push for us to go to their house.
Good morning! Alfie absolutely loves Springwater. He comes in beaming, he leaves beaming. Before Springwater, I was Alfie's main carer. And no matter what I put in Alfie's daily routine, it just was never enough for him.
Working with special needs children, it's not always easy. We have to still teach national curriculum. They can't learn through exercise books and textbooks. They need active learning, things that meet their interests. Sadly, the school is very old. It is difficult. We're always having to think of what we could use to try and do something. It just absolutely breaks my heart when I've seen what is out there on the market. Everything that has the name special needs attached usually just costs ridiculous amounts of money. We don't have the funds to actually provide that, but our children need it.
Press the blue! The sensory input is so important to Alfie, being able to be free and be a child, but also learn interaction. It's not just lights, it's not just music, it's not just soft play. It's about them learning life skills to their ability. You'll never understand from a special needs parent what these resources mean. It's life-changing.
I just can't believe what variety have actually provided for us already. We're just blown away. Most of the time, really, we need to bring the outside here and provide them with those sort of meaningful activities. Now that we've got this sensory room, we're starting to see what we've been missing. It really is heartbreaking that you know that you could teach better if you had the right resources.
Variety, amazing, for this sensory room, but there's so much more that can get kids to thrive and have a good education.
One of the things that we know our children benefit from is rebound therapy. We have a trampoline that we have to set up in the hall. It takes at least 3 people to actually set that up. When Variety came in, they suggested a purpose-built sunken trampoline that we can use for a dedicated rebound therapy. So we'd actually have the hall available as well. We'll have this new facility that was going to be safer. I just look at our playground and I nearly cry. Tried to come up with little plans of how to try and improve it, but it's nothing compared to the plans that Variety have drawn up for us. The wheelchair tracks, sensory tracks with rumble strips, go-karting for the more able ones, sand pits that are accessible for the children to reach, a living wall so they can smell herbs.
I know things get tired, but I just think they need to be updated for the children. There's more that can be done. We've just got to try and bring school to where it needs to be.
Hello, come in, it's all ready for you. Hello, Alfie.
Alfie's joined at such a fantastic time. And I think about the education we could give him with the school as it is, but then I think about if we had all the best equipment, the right equipment, could we do more? And I think about that independent young person that we want to turn out at the end. What Variety are providing us with is going to achieve that. He is going to be so much more because of this investment. Variety coming into our school, it's been like somebody's come in and waving a magic wand. They have been fantastic and they've been working at our children's level trying to find what they want. They've talked to so many staff. They are amazing and we cannot thank them enough, and I just hope that people will support us in this, in our vision of what we want for our children.
Bye-bye, goodbye.